So good afternoon to all of you. 218 semester 6B1 manufacturing, food process technology and IM students. Today 1st March 2021, the subject environmental management and cleaner production. So I used to abbreviate it as EMCP. Okay, EMCP. So I believe it's a bit familiar to you. Still the background preparation for the subject. And not yesterday, last week we came to know about creating the cause to achieve the expected results. Okay, creating the cause, expecting that the desired effect is assured to achieve. Okay, desired effect is achieved. Effect can be realized. Yes. So this is the situation. So cause and effect principle. So we have a goal. To achieve the goal, we have to create the cause. Means hetuwa hadanna ona kiyana in Sinhala we call. Then we can have the result. Okay, so that's why. So you need a very good wisdom when it comes to this EMCP like subjects. Okay, if you don't have this management aspects, this is a kind of management aspect, creating the cause. So you cannot manage environmental management, not only that, the other things as well you cannot manage. It's very difficult. Okay, you may be doing something, you may do very hard work, but you may not be that smart because you don't know how to fine tune the cause, the hetu. Yeah, that's why. So cause and effect principle here. So here, when it comes to environmental management and cleaner production, we are expecting some good outputs. Example, let's say, give me a second, Putha. Okay, Putha. So we are expecting some decide, or we are having some objectives or some expected outcomes of this. Example in let's say food production. Okay, in a food production, let's say in food production you need to minimize the food waste. So then your productivity or maybe minimization, you may have some judgment. So to achieve that, okay, to achieve that, so you have to plan it and you have to have your process, okay, outlined very well. Okay, yes, and not only the process outline, even your raw material and your the machinery requirement, there can be some specialities. So somehow in creating the course, there are input requirements as well. Okay, there are input requirements as well. Very good example in your house. Let's see, when you cook rice, to have some to reduce the wastage of rice in cooking. Yeah. So that is your expectation. So to achieve that, okay, you have to do something. So there is a knowledge component as well. So there are other technology components, some innovative approaches, many such things. So, and of course, when it comes to the situation, it's managing. Okay, it is managing. Yeah. So basically you have little imagination of this. Hope you can remember this. Okay, I have explained this. So your output, same as we have seen in the previous slide, this output. To assure the right output, the expected output to outcome is there. There is so many, you can see, elements are involved. So control elements, some processes, even feedback for reviewing. We have learned this, some other inputs and requirements, reference input, same like here. So we learn about this. So this is little, not to say difficult, but I would say it's a must to digest this very well. That's why. So today, even though we consider this is done, we are going for further understanding of this. Further understanding of EMCP control systems. Yes. It's the same, you can say here. Your output is here. The same control system is here. Nothing changed. But I'm going to explain this further with little bit addition of animations. Yeah. Of course, there are control elements. Okay, there are control elements. Means to plan, actions, and all. The process is there. Example, rice cooking may be the process. Yeah, you have outputs. Means output is something, it's an objective you have to achieve. It is not what simply taken place. So there are controllabilities over here. That's why the control elements are always there other than the process. So control elements and process may be together. Yes. And we have prior knowledge of this. Without having this prior knowledge, the reference inputs, we have no idea how to come to the required goals, how to reach the required goals, how to achieve this. So the inputs or the reference or the knowledge, it's essential. Then the process and control knowledge is essential for this output. Okay, but we have to check the output. That is very important. We have to check this output, whether our wastage of rice is up to the minimum levels. Maybe in big restaurants, big kitchens, your household, there are millions of households. So this could be a $1 million concern maybe. It's a national concern. So we have to check this output with our available knowledge, guidelines, and standards. That's why checking, comparison, see, check is very important. So after that, yes, we can signal that. Yes, okay. It's okay, or the situation we can identify it. Okay, situation. So situation, once identified, further actions or directives possible. Actuator means that is what trigger the actions. So act, okay, is like relating to act. Okay, so to trigger the actions, to take the actions. Yeah, so this may be a little bit high level, upper level. See, above the process, above the elements. So this one. So this can be some authority there, some good knowledge, and they can provide the directions. So they are looking for some, of course, continual improvements maybe. That's why. So the directions are given of what to achieve. Yes, what to achieve. Actions. Yes, actions. Oh, what to achieve, even there can be some planning as well. Okay. And the control elements means the plans will be taken place and as a result. See, this two connects control element and process. In the beginning, these two separate connects. How? So actions planned and designed or initiated on the processes to carry out. So initiation of improved process and actions. And this will bring us maybe better results. So you can see act means actions are here. Checks are here. Checking. Planning can be here. Doing components can be. So planning, doing, checking, and actions. So these are taken place in this systematic arrangement. We call it the system. Okay. I believe you will have some better idea now. Back to the same. See, disconnected. See the connection. So control elements are originally in place with the process. Yes. So now control elements to plan and facilitate, to initiate actions on the process. Okay, you have to imagine. Then you may have outcomes. Yes, of course. To set the outputs, prior knowledge about not only the science and technology about the process, controls, markets, standards, competitors, products, and all. You may have set standards. Must go for checking. Okay. Then compare that. Check it. So problems or issues, situations. Raise this. Something like blowing a vessel, or raise the flag. See, flagged. Then that is received, the message or the information by this authority executives to direct and make decisions, of course, and action. So we call this the taking the primary actions here. Primary actions. Act starts here. Control acts starts here after checking or comparing. With this no element, with no this element, we cannot proceed. We cannot proceed. That's why we have to have a higher level element, authority. Yes. Directions, decisions to achieve the goals transferred maybe to the relevant departments. Okay. Or even for the machines, this is ideal. Even for machine controls, this is the concept. Then finally, plan and facilitate to initiate actions. Yes. So actions are planned. Facilitated means create all the things to make it, yes, possible to have the improved process and actions. So you can see doing part, do here, planning, act, and checks. Okay, do checking as well. Act, actions, taking actions. So when we take actions means it is bit high level, okay, higher level in this command and control. Okay, followed by plan again based on the action. So based on directions you have to plan this. Improvements maybe, then some activities you do this. Okay, then the second level actions doing here. Okay, second level. First level action we call this act. So here the management part, the higher level authorities. So that's the situation. So you can notice that. Okay, you can notice that. So further looking into this, it's the same, starting with the process. Yes, planned and intended process and actions leading to outputs, required outputs. And the reference, the knowledge, technologies, innovations, all important. But we have to verify, we have to check whether the right output is there or not. So checking. Yes, checking is one way comparison, the checking process. After that, the situation identified and it's transferred for, yes, higher level, okay, triggering of actions. Even there can be some planning parts as well. So a lot of imaginations here. So then that actions leads to plan and facilitate. To initiate actions means that is process, okay? So to work on the process. So you can see planning segments are there, doing segments are there, checking segments are there, act segments are there. So not only here, even though I mentioned here, so there can be the segments everywhere. Okay, these segments can be everywhere at different levels. Okay, at different levels. So I'll be discussing that as well. Okay, so you can see planning, doing, checking, and taking actions. Okay, that actions means mainly the decisions and all. Leads to planning here, doing, check, act. So this PDCA. Okay. So if I do some little arrows. Okay, plan. So acts lead to planning. The cycle starts from plan really. Okay. Once you plan, you do this. Then you have to do checking part. Okay. So after that, yes, this checking leads to actions. Okay. And actions leading to planning. So we call this is a quite standard cycle. We call this PDCA cycle in management. So PDCA cycle is something, how to say, PDCA cycle is something you can say it is something like quite basic. Okay. But even if you think it better, even you can see that even though it is basic and simple, this can be quite in-depth. Okay, you can apply this. Also, you can apply this in a wider scope. Okay, in a wider scope. So I'm going to make a picture out of this. You have to be patient a bit. I hope all covers. Oh, sorry. Why not I do this way? See, sometimes we do stupid things. You can do it in one shot. So good. So this has a little depth. Okay. So this cycle feature can be seen in many places. Okay. Everywhere at different levels. So when I put this one, you know that PDCA cycle is in place. Okay. PDCA cycle is in place. So I'm going to take one here, copy this. I paste it here. Yes, I've explained this to you. So this PDCA cycle, actually, we put separate P and all. But other than that means, let's say I will take this. Copy this. Paste here. this PDCA cycle. Even though check is prominent here, even here itself there can be PDCA. I don't know. Possible. Okay, there is a possibility. PDCA, I put it here. Okay. That is, colors are not very good. Colors are not very good. Ah, this is okay. Yes. When you say this, you should recognize this is PDCA. Okay? You should recognize this is PDCA. So, this feature can be here, not only the checking, but even reference here should be improved. There can be PDCA feature. Even here can be PDCA feature. Everywhere can be PDCA feature. Okay. So PDCA feature can be there. PDCA feature. Yes, can be here. PDCA feature. Okay. Here. So even here maybe even checking. So receiving information to get the right information and all. So getting feedback is something important. So PDCA could be there as well. So you can see everywhere. Okay. PDCA takes place. Yes. So, other than the signals passing, here no PDCA. Signal passing, no PDCA. Signal passing, no PDCA. When it comes to all the elements, okay, you should have PDCA. This is very important. Okay. Yes, even Toyota example also you may have PDCA. So it depends how well you said this. Okay. Yeah. So even your studies, you may see PDCS. So this checking is very important. Okay. Also, wherever you will see this as well. What? This is very nice. Huh? This control concept, having this knowledge, okay, is quite important. That's why we thought of spending a bit today on this. Okay, so you can see PDCS everywhere. Very good there. Yeah. So then let me go for another example. So to learn something. Okay, so this is the background preparation. So I believe this creating the cause, yes, leads to appear this system with this feedback and control. Okay, feedback and control. We can say that this is a feedback control system. No matter now, this is complete. This is complete. So I will look into this, and I'm using some slides. This is still the background preparation. Yes. So this one is about the EMS, means like EMCP here, Environmental Management System. Okay, this is Environmental Management System. So this is also a kind of system, a structure. Okay, so this is system structure, possible. Okay, system structure. So this is EMS system. So you can see here, I need you to focus on the right side. This Toyota company, of course, the topmost head of the Toyota we call president. And the president, there may be vice presidents as well. So not like in Sri Lanka, in Japan, Taiwan, like East Asia countries, they have this president position. Okay, Sri Lanka, we don't have presidents in companies. Okay, but there are presidents, senior vice presidents, vice presidents, and all in the company. So president is the boss. Okay, so environmental committee chairman is the president. Okay, I'm highlighting something here. Environmental committee chairman is the position. So which means they have an environmental committee chaired by the president, makes decision on corporate environmental policies and follow up on important environmental activities taken. To understand this, you may have to have a little bit imaginations. Anyway, I will pass you this note as well. Okay, so you can see that, yes, the president is the key driving element of this environmental related objectives in the organization. Okay, environmental related objectives. So if we look into this, in our case, the president, where will the president scope? Okay, so let me copy this. Duplicate this. Where will be the president's scope? So I just mark. He may have the scope until here. See, his scope can be until here. President's scope. cannot see it. You cannot see it. Yes. The precedence, scope, prior knowledge, and all the things. So you will understand this for sure. Maybe I will put like this. For sure. His influence, his presence. Yes. Overall, but this is the key area. This is the key area. So even receiving. So we would say here, this part. That's upper levels, okay? So once this is right, see, feedback and all the cycling takes place here. Improvements take place all here, the upper levels. So after that, this can be followed downwards, okay? So I'm matching this to our control system model. Yes. So he chairs the environmental committee, and there are subcommittees. So product technology. So when it comes to environment, energy saving of Toyota vehicles, one way is contributing for the global level sustainability, developing hybrid solutions, whatever, energy efficient vehicles, even with less raw materials, but to have the similar performance, you can say, somehow related to technology, product technology. Automotive may be part of that. Battery technologies, electronics, semiconductor, whatever. Energy is another part. Okay. Pollution prevention is another subcommittee. Resource utilization. Okay, in manufacturing plants. Okay, even in products and so this one directly under the president. So imagine this all under environmental management. That's why environmental management key. Puta, can you mute that? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you can see environmental management is the key. Okay, then they have the factories. So for the plants, there are separate environmental committees. Yeah. So chairman is chairing those. There is a general secretariat under environmental committee. Planning, purchasing, okay? Plant, engineering and technologies, even public affairs, general administration, safety and health, because these are essential components, because environmental management even needs public affairs. Okay, that is very important. Yes, because finally you are responsible for socio-economic environmental sustainability. Okay, so this is connected with the societies. very important. So this one, so the committee chaired by the president, okay, so of course makes decisions on corporate environmental policies and follow-ups. Those are policy levels. See, develop 4 specialized subcommittees. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each plant maintains its own plant environmental committees. So you can say that. Okay. So this is called the upper levels of this environmental management system. So you cannot stop here, because only the top level they can talk, but this may not be implemented if this go to the down levels, the planning stage. So this is quite good. Then in the doing part, you can say education, because the knowledge is important. Okay, education is very important. This is the reference. Okay, finally, this will be leading for references. Yes, so all the actions, movements based on this knowledge. Okay, that's why at the top level they have this PDCA in operation, awareness programs. Yeah, this is top level. So they do this for people. Then audits, environmental conservation activities. Okay, environmental audits, self-checks. Okay, see, the audits means checking. Okay, checking. So you can see this internal audits, of course, company-wide, yes. Audits, then external bodies, they also can come and do maybe once a year. Yeah, external audits for to check the compliance of this. So actions, see, achieving this. Yes. So you can see, I'm not going to look into actions now, because this is only one mention. So let me go back to the final here. In our case, okay. So let me go back to this. So you can notice that this PDCA is very important. Also, this reference, the requirement when it comes to knowledge and all, this knowledge should be everywhere, from the corporate, the top level director board to the operator level. This should be knowledge driven. So that's why. So even though this is the basic control schematic, okay, this is a basic control schematic. So when you act on this, yes, that is very important. And if you can act in proper, if you can see this in proper, so those will be the signs of you will be ending up in the higher levels in the corporate sector. Okay, so you cannot ignore this environmental management component. Okay, management component. Yes. If not, you will be ended up in cleaner production, maybe taking care only one division. But overall, this management, this knowledge is important for you. Okay, so this is a very good blend for Even for management students, you may be learning about technology plus management. Even for technology students, do you think that only technology will do everything? But this says that only technology, you cannot make the things that wonderful. You need the blend of technology and the management. Yes, this blend is essential. That's one. So, very good. And let me continue this. So what have we learned from Toyota case study? What have we learned? Okay. So this couldn't be just a story. Yeah. What have we learned? Here you can see that square, the box with the shade of red, upper levels. Yes. The critical part. This is very important. The balance also important, and even here, the top managements. To make this perfecting this, recognize the knowledge requirement for this is very important. And the other thing is, from this story you can see that planning is very important. Yes, this all based on planning. So they recognize this. For this planning, knowledge, experience, very important. Okay, I think management students know about this knowledge and experience, the importance of that. If you don't have the proper knowledge and experience, you cannot plan this. Even you don't know what kind of education the organization needs, means you cannot implement the doing part. So this is at the corporate level. Okay, so checks also here at the corporate levels. So you should bring this PDCA downwards to the operator levels. That is very important. So leadership's involvement in EMCP. Okay, environmental management and clean production. Leadership's involvement produce a very good environmental management system. So this is a system of controls. So based on this, if you develop the organization, there is a system in place somehow connected through this activities and all. Okay, so somehow these two are connected. So let me continue this. Okay, other important things. Yes, other important things. If I take this, maybe make it more simple. Okay, so let me take this. Okay, let me take this. Yes. So this can be applied. So Toyota example, we notice that this is mainly for the corporate levels. Okay. So this is mainly for the corporate levels. So that is what we have noticed. Okay. This is mainly for the corporate levels. But Toyota is corporate level. So I underline here corporate level, not to say underline, but in a chance to make it this way. Okay, yes, corporate level. Okay, so Toyota case. So what we have seen is corporate level one. So that's true, but see, there are individual plants as well, and there can be subsidiaries. Okay, so this may go to the company levels afterward. Okay, this may go to the company levels. Then there is a scope for department levels, the control elements, the processes, and all. So department levels. Okay, then to the section levels, even to individual levels, there are interests of this for sure, because finally individuals together makes the things happen for the organization. Okay, and when it comes to commercial levels, can be large scale, or large scale means the commercial we call, or even can be light commercial applications when it comes to individual, like if you run a shop. Okay, so this may be only the light commercial applications you may be working on. Okay, possible. So different levels. So, and Toyota has global level interest as well. Yes, they have global level interest. Of course, some may have regional levels. Some may have regional levels as well. So you have to imagine this, regional levels. Not only Toyota, when you think of the global bodies like the UN, and then there can be like World Economic Forums, and we can see sometimes the G7 collectives and all, global levels. Yes. Regional levels also there. So national levels. So Toyota is beyond the Japan, so you can see it as regional and global levels. But for our manufacturers, maybe some SMEs and all, there can be still the national level interest. Okay, and even governments, they have national level scopes. Provincial levels also there can be. Okay, provincial levels. Even for municipality levels, when it comes to the municipalities, or even for a small retail shop, maybe village levels. Yes. So you can notice this. So the scope can be different, but you may have to have this general awareness of this. So whatever the level, so you may be able to say this PDCA. Okay, you may be able to say this PDCA. So that is very important. PDCA is important. Okay. So PDCA, not only that, this control system, because management, of course, control systems are important for that. Yes. And one more thing, so let me. add something. Okay. You may think about global levels, but when it comes to implementations, it will reach the individuals. Yes, example, vehicles are used by individuals. Yes, it may reach the individuals. Yeah. Even when you take actions, say example to protect the environment, if you contribute for minimizing the global warming, effect is at the global level, your actions are at the local levels. So there are two groups possible. Some they think global and they act local. Okay, so these are very important. So thinking global and acting local. Yes, that is very, very important. I hope you can understand this. Okay, thinking global and acting local, that is very important. Okay, that's why you have to have this up-to-date knowledge. Okay, then you are presenting the globe, but your actions may be for your locality only, for Sri Lanka maybe, but yes, your approach has some global sense, and that will sure brings you opportunities to contribute. Yes. And now you can see that to think globally, thinking won't come automatic. Okay, it is not automatic. So you have to create the cause for thinking. What makes thinking? One of the key for thinking is there should be a broad knowledge. This is essential. So I have shared this case with the IM students maybe only. How important the knowledge when it comes to global level thinking. Yes, that's why. So that is very important. Okay, a broad knowledge is essential. So that's why there is no choice that if you have to be a responsible global citizen, okay, of course you should be a global citizen. So this important knowledge, somehow you have to get it. Somehow you have to get it, and you have to get this knowledge harnessed very well. So that is very important, Butala, and that is very important. Yes. So these are very important points I am sharing with you. As the background preparation. Okay. So the broad knowledge is essential. Yes. And especially Sri Lankans, you know, they are very, very wise. Even the young adults like you, yes, you are very wise. So it is essential for you, okay, for you to have this, because this brings the opportunities as well. Okay, this brings the opportunities as well. So that's why here I can share with you that from the Toyota case, further lessons for us. From the Toyota case, there are further lessons for us. Yes. The chairman chairs. Yes. It's in the system, no matter who the chairman is. He's supposed to chair this. System is well arranged. 5 divisions, even for environmental committees, for separate plants. So the authority has dedicated and strong presence. Just imagine. But in our cases, maybe when it comes to environmental management systems, leadership may not be that concerned about this EMS systems, because they didn't know that EMS system or environmental management system like this brings the opportunities for new technologies, innovations, and new markets. Yes, this is very important. This is extremely important. EMS systems. Yes. The leadership should be there in presence, not the secondary levels. For some cases, you can see only the manager levels, they representing the EMS leadership, okay, on behalf of the top management, but that is not the way, okay, that is not the way, because it makes the opportunities being missed. That's why it makes the opportunities missed.